So let's talk about the Cold World War happening in the house. Yes. And I delayed this video because I really wanted to get a grasp of what was happening. I wanted to hear from all sides. Yes. And that was why I deliberately waited a bit before doing this video. And now that I have all sides taken, I can actually confidently make this video. Now, guys, we're going to be talking about the Cold World War happening that includes Isabella and Imisi versus Thelma, Mide, Kola, and the entire house. Yes. And this misconception is happening, or this fight is happening, courtesy of drinks. Yes, it had started because of cigarettes and migrated to drinks. But first of all, before we talk about the issue mainly, let's watch this particular video.
The Thursday parties, is there anyone like, are we like supposed to go there and pick up our drinks, or we have to wait for someone to pour drinks for us, or is there somebody assigned to that?
Do as you please.
Okay.
Okay, so it had started with cigarettes, right? I mean, the head of house, Thelma, had called all of them, and then she had spoken about drinks being shared. Yes, she had stated that she was going to share drinks, or she was going to assign people to share drinks. Now, while that was ongoing, there was a cigarette matter on ground. Apparently, she had gotten the cigarettes that the housemate had gotten, and she had given it to Koyin. Now, Koyin, on the other hand, had shared the cigarettes and had given the remaining to Sultana. Now, that cigarette he gave to Sultana was basically meant to be the one that Jason bought and Imisi bought, right? So, apparently, they did not give Faith. Faith was meant to get 20 out of the cigarette. So, Faith was making a big deal out of it. And for me, that particular scenario, Faith was right. Yes, because, I mean, I bought something, so why shouldn't I have it, right? And then Thelma comes. Thelma is like, you know what? Give me back all the cigarettes. I'm going to return it back to Big Brother. And the rude boy, Jason J., they were trying to calm the situation down, right? So they were now, Faith kept on shouting that Imisi did not buy cigarettes, and Imisi kept on shouting that she bought cigarettes, yes. And then they were saying that Imisi bought only drink, and Imisi said no, she bought cigarettes. And then it was found out that Imisi actually bought cigarettes. However, she was paired up, yes. She did not buy a full one, she was paired with someone, right? And that was how they had spoken to Sultana to remove 20 out of the 40 cigarettes with them. Or with Sultana that she had put in her coochie. Yeah. And I mean, that was sorted. However, the head of house, Joanna, we're just going off and off as regards the whole alcohol thing. Yes. Because Isabella said, no, nobody is going to share alcohol. Yeah, she's not going to stand for that. That she has asked Big Brother in her diary session, and Big Brother has said they should do as they like, right? Now, for her, she kept on saying that the way they did it last week, Thursday, where everybody got what was apportioned to them, is the way they are going to do it this week. Yes. She kept on saying that last week, they shared the 2 gin bottles that were given 11-11, and then the canned drinks went round 3-3. Everybody was happy. It wasn't that anybody was sharing drink for anybody. So why should they wait for someone to share drink for them when Big Brother has expressly told her, do as you wish as regards drinks? Whereas Thelma and Joanna were going off upstairs. Now, these two were downstairs, whereas Thelma was upstairs going off. Yes. And Joanna was of the view that, I mean, they only hear Isabella when it relates to cigar and drinks. Yes. When it comes to alcohol and cigarettes, that's where Isabella is strong. Yes, that's where people hear her voice. And she was talking about Imisi and how that one, she's not even relevant. I mean, Joanna was saying a lot. And then Thelma, on the other hand, was talking about how, fine, she's going to help people get the strikes that they want. If it's disqualification they want, she's going to help them get it. Because she's the head of house, so her rules are going to be taken. Yes, that she's going to share the drinks. Herself and Mide will share the drinks. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. She wants to see who will drag her. She wants to see who will pull her, who will hit her and all. Because she's going to give them body to actually do that too. Yes, so Thelma had stated it that she is out to provoke, yes, and that she wants to see what will come of it. Her rules are going to be taken. According to her, she's not fit. What Imisi did to Faith would not happen to her. And I'm like, okay, Thelma, is this not being two-sided now? Why I'm saying this is because when Faith was head of house, I mean, in Thelma's diary session, she has stated that she did not like the way Faith was going about the things he was doing. Yes, that he was being an oppressor and the rest. That the housemates are only fighting for their rights. That what he had done to Imisi was wrong, blah, blah, blah. And now, because she now has an issue that includes Imisi, she is now saying that Faith, what they did to him, she will not take it. She's not Faith. And I'm like, baby girl, how far? How far now? Stay one place. Well, that was it. Isabella refused to go change. Yes, she told Imisi that let them wait so that once the door is open, they would go outside and they would take their drinks, right? And then they had gone on ad break. By the time they were back from the ad break, we saw that Thelma had called the house again. Yes. Remember that the whole cigarette thing had been sorted, right? So she had called the house again and she had told them that Big Brother had instructed her that there will be no need for grilling or any of the food services. Yes, because there were people assigned to that, courtesy of the week's team. She had then gone further to say that Big Brother instructed that she shares the drinks. And when she said that, I was like, Big Brother told you that? Big Brother cannot tell you that if he had already previously told Isabella that nobody is in charge of drinks during the parties. So how come Big Brother is now telling you this? But I'm like, fine, let's go with it. And for me, I mean, using Big Brother was a nice call for Thelma. Because that was what made most of what she did yesterday succeed. Yes. So now they had gone to the party and Imisi and Isabella had counted the drinks, right? The canned drinks. And they had seen that it would go round 2-2, right? So they wanted to collect their 2 drinks. Thelma, on the other hand, wanted to open up the drinks for everybody and pour it in cups, right? But Imisi and Isabella were not having that. Whereas Thelma wanted to ration the drinks for people to take them. Like, she didn't want people to just take drinks at once. Imisi and Isabella felt like, we already know how this thing is going to be shared. So why do we have to take it gradually? Give us our drinks so that we do whatever we want to do with it, right? And as they have refused, fine. Thelma allowed them to carry the drinks that they were entitled to. And that was when Imisi had packed the drinks in her bag. Now, Imisi had carried 2 cups because Thelma had started sharing the gin. Now, remember that they were 19 in the house, right? And Isabella had brought up the idea that, okay, since they are 19, they can do, 8-8, since it was not everybody that wanted the gin. However, Thelma refused. Now, Isabella and Imisi were there, they were standing there, and they wanted Thelma to give them gin, right? Thelma had refused to give them the vodka. However, she was serving other people. Yes. And for me, it now looked like Thelma was doing that particularly because of Isabella. Yes, it wasn't even about Imisi. It was about Isabella. You guys know that Thelma and Isabella are not in good terms. So it now looked like Imisi was fighting Isabella's fights. Yes, that was how it looked. Because that whole thing was not mainly directed at Imisi. But Imisi also was not having it for her drinks to be taken in bits. So 2 of them were now under one umbrella. And that was how Thelma had told them that she was not going to give them gin until she's done serving everybody. So they had waited. And then when she had served people, she then carried the remaining drinks and she was going into the head of house lounge with the drinks. Yes. And as she got to the door, Imisi had pulled her with her bikini and her transmitter. She had pulled her back. Yes. And then they had broken the hold that Imisi had. And then Thelma had gone inside. She had kept the drinks. And for Thelma, she had stated that she wanted them to enter the head of house lounge to go take it, so that Big Brother would dish out the next necessary punishment. Because since they don't used to hear words, she wants to show them that no, she's head of house and she has power. Now, Imisi in turn had then gone into the house, and for her, since Thelma had refused to give her drinks, herself and Isabella, Thelma had refused to give them drinks, right? The housemates refused to speak on it. They were fine with it. So she decided, you know what? All the housemates will collect. Yes. And then she had gone to take the spoons in the house. In fact, the cutleries in the house. Which for me, I don't support. Yes, I don't support that whole cutlery thing. I'm like, what on earth is going on in this house? At this point, it is giving madness for madness, because what on earth is this? Personally, I'm of the view that if someone does use something, you go for that person instead of the entire house. But someone like Imisi is of the view that the entire house saw the misjustice or the injustice happening and refused to say anything. So the entire house will suffer for it. Wahala. And that was how the likes of Mide, Kola, and Bright had come into the house to talk to Imisi. Now, Imisi was very upset, so she was not listening. So they were trying to talk to her and all that. We did not see that happen. But from the gist flying around, what I could get was that they tried to calm her down. They tried to talk to her, but baby girl wasn't necessarily listening. Now they had come back to the party. Kola in turn had come to meet Thelma because Kola had found out that, okay, it was the drink issue. He had come to meet Thelma to speak to Thelma, telling Thelma that, okay, I'm sorry on her behalf. Please give me her drink. And Thelma had refused. Yes, Thelma had refused to give Kola Imisi's drink. In fact, Thelma went ahead. She did not give these two ladies their drinks. However, someone like Culture, she had given him 2 shots instead of 1. Yes. And the second shot, according to her, she had said it is Isabella's shot. And I'm wondering, why will you do that? And even the Culture, why will you drink it? Like, hey, God, these housemates are mad. Well, we found out later that Imisi got drink, yes. So what I think happened, because now I'm trying to fill in the gap after hearing all sides. So what I think happened is, when Thelma had turned Kola down, Kola then carried his own drink and went to give Imisi, pretending like, no, he had collected drink from Thelma. But Imisi wasn't still satisfied because they were meant to get 2 drinks, one for herself and one for Isabella. So at this point, it was her fighting Isabella's fight. I say wahala. Wahala for friendship. Oh. Now, fast forward to them all coming outside. I mean, it was when they went inside, Thelma had come out with the second bottle and was distributing, right? Now, after the party, because during the party, after all this drama, they now decided to dance. I mean, for me, for the first half of the party, it was more of fighting. Only a few people were grooving. And then it was now the second half that they started having fun, right? Now, apparently, Isabella had made a comment that did not go down well with Mide. She had said those 2 hermaphrodites, yes. And for Mide, it was a thing of, okay, we know one, because she has been saying it, that Thelma is hermaphrodite and all whatnot. Who is the second person? Hope it's not me. Yeah, so Mide was already angry with Isabella and doing all sorts of things. Now, let's leave that one first and talk about after the party. So at first, yeah, we had seen that Mide was going off and off while Kola was on the massage chair. Yes, Mide was going off and off, talking about Isabella, talking about how her name was not mentioned, so she's not going to go at her. However, if Isabella has the balls, Isabella should mention her name. Like, Mide was going off and off. Mide even brought in Culture into the whole thing, talking about how Culture is a fake Yahoo boy, talking about how the people she claims are her friends are the people carrying her matter up and down, how the fake Yahoo boy Culture was the one that had gone around saying that her mouth was smelling, and it was her friend again, Sultana, that had carried that gist to people. Now, Mide was talking about how nobody should find her mouth, because if you find her mouth, you will get it, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. And then they had come upstairs, right? Okay, before they had come upstairs, herself and Thelma were also talking in the head of house lounge about the whole situation and whatnot. Now, they had come upstairs. Now, the upstairs gist comprised of Thelma, Kola, brightmorgan, Mide, and at some point, Tracy had joined in the gist, yes. However, Tracy did not utter a word. Tracy was just there absorbing the gist. Now, they were talking about the whole party thing. Thelma kept on going on and on about how Imisi pulled her and her transmitter, and was talking about how she has 2 green bikinis. One is rope and the other is the one she wore. That she wanted to wear the one with rope. So imagine if she had worn the one with rope, the way Imisi had pulled her, I mean, the bikini would have loosened, yes. And she was talking about how she did not have any issue with Imisi prior. Yes, so there was no issue with Imisi. So where this whole thing came from, she does not understand. That Isabella's own, she understands, yes. And for her, she was ready. That it is the previous head of house that don't know their power. Unlike she knows her power. Now, other talks were going on. I mean, for me, this is where I get to fault Kola a bit. The way I see friendship, if my friend is wrong, definitely I'm going to call my friend's bullshit. I'm going to tell my friend, come, what you have done is nonsense. You're not meant to do this, you're not meant to do that, you're not meant to do this, you're not meant to do that. And then I'll make sure that I've heard from my friend and I've heard from the other side, right? And then I caught my friend her warning or his warning, right? However, I will not sit down and have a conversation where it is now looking like I am throwing my friend under the bus. And when I'm saying have a conversation, I mean with the people that are currently upset with the so-called friend. What was Kola doing in that conversation? And there were things that he was saying that I'm like, Kola, I don't understand. Are you a friend or a frenemy or a foe? Because he was making comments like, why was she even crying? Now, the things I was doing, me coming outside to get the drink and all that, the things I was doing is because Imisi was crying, and for her to be crying, it just did not make sense. And she was crying because they said that her friend's mouth is smelling. So that was why she was crying. And Bright was like, that cry makes sense. And he was like, that he did what he did because he knows how the show is. Sometimes they will not start from the beginning of what happened. And he did not want a situation whereby they will start from her crying, all of them around her. It will not be like, no, they are all against her and they are all attacking her. That was why he had gone to apologize on her behalf to collect the drink and all. I'm like, what? How on earth are you a friend and you make this type of statement? Meaning your friend is trying to act like the victim. And you are trying for people to see that she's not the victim. And I'm like, do you say this where there are people who are not currently happy with your so-called friend? For me, these housemates don't understand the concept of friendship, like loyalty when it comes to friendship. Because why on earth will you be having such a conversation? Now, Kola had a lot to say, and Kola, for me, there was something Kola said that I stand by. Yes, there was something he said, I'm like, who? He said, if my friend is wrong, I'll tell my friend that the friend is wrong. I won't support nonsense. Because when she was right with the whole faith situation, I was by her side. But you see, this particular one, I am not by her side. Now, I totally fuck with that. Because if your friend is wrong, you have every reason to tell your friend, come, you fucked up. However, sitting with the people that your friend had issues with, to discuss that friend, for me, does not scream loyalty. Yes, and does not scream you genuinely care for that friend. Now, after that whole bashing and all that, because, I mean, they had real gone hard on Isabella and Imisi to the point that Kola was even saying, so what is Imisi's problem? Why is she so angry at you? It is obvious that it's Isabella that is influencing her. It is obvious that she was fighting Isabella's fight. And I'm like, guy. Well, that whole conversation had happened, and they were talking about how Isabella is going around, the people that are her friends are not actually her friends. And then Mide was like, except Imisi. Imisi is the only true friend that Isabella has, because Imisi does not gossip about her friends. Now, that whole thing was happening. Now, before this gist of upstairs, Culture was hearing his name, so Culture had called Thelma outside. And Thelma had told him that, I mean, I was with Gigi having a conversation, and Sultana had come, and Sultana had stated that you had said that Isabella's mouth is smelling. That Isabella's mouth smells. Yes. And that was it. Culture had then carried himself to Isabella to go and remove himself, to Isabella and Imisi, to go and basically wash his hand off that gist. Talking about how, see what they are saying, it is all lies, what? I'm like, it's all right. Now, there was something that happened that we did not see also. Apparently, someone had thrown food, but it looked like it was the wall the person had thrown food at. Now, there was a misconception whether it was Imisi that had done it or it was Isabella. From what I had gathered, it was Isabella that threw that food, and it had splashed on Sultana. Yes, because Isabella is very much pissed that Sultana did not have her back this night. And I'm like, or yesterday night, sorry. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but last, you are my friend, yes. But must I buy every fight you fight? If I cannot buy your fights, can't I just maintain cool? Like, can't I just not speak against you or speak for you? For me, if I don't buy your fights, like if you are my friend and I feel a certain kind of way about how you're moving, I can remain mute. so that I don't throw you under the bus when I speak. And that's why I had a problem with Kola being in that mix talking about Imisi when you are supposedly meant to be her friend. But the whole talk of Sultana not siding Isabella, because Sultana did not even say Jack in this whole thing. For me, Isabella is overreacting. And I personally feel like Big Brother should speak up. Yes. I feel like that do the most that is there. Big Brother is just leaving this housemate to do the extreme most. Because what on earth is this? Like, hey, God. Ha! Both the pulling of the head of house, for me, that's totally wrong. And Big Brother should speak on that. But you see that Cutlery hiding thing? I know that Big Brother is not going to send because last it's mischief. And Big Brother, things like this, Big Brother used to, what's it called? Give the housemates things to do things like this. So that one, it is him getting things done for free for him. But I feel like the things that happened last night should be addressed. It should be addressed. Because for me, the refusal to give drinks is provocation. And then the pulling and all by Imisi was Imisi going too far. That's my own take. You can give your take in the comment section below. Yes. And for me, Kola did not act like a true friend to Imisi yesterday. Although this morning he tried correcting that. But for me, I'm like, nah. Because this guy had made it seem like, no, Imisi is now painting him in the bad light. To the point that Bright was now advising Kola that the way it is now, it's now looking like you are against Imisi. You are now looking like the bad person. So it's now Imisi that is painting you in the bad light. You need to do something about that. I'm like, come. Nobody is forcing you to be her friend. Because there were some statements that were made yesterday where he was saying, if not for this house, we will be having this conversation. We will be talking. Will I be taking all this? And I'm like, guy, from here to here. But we'll get to that. Now, Koyin and Isabella were having a conversation. Remember that Isabella had told Imisi that she's not speaking to Koyin again. She's done with Koyin and all that he annoyed her and all. However, due to all this fight and all that, I mean, they were under the sheets. Koyin was talking to her. He was just basically calming her down. Yes, that was what he was doing. He was calming her down and all. And while that was going on, that was when all those talk amongst the four people were going on. Imisi was under the sheet with the Nari doing the whole tax thing. And she had started saying a prayer in Yoruba. Yes, because I don't know who said she will suffer. So she was praying for that person, that it is that person and everything concerning that person that will languish in suffer and not her. That was what that was about. Also, this whole Yoruba thing without interpretation, I don't, in fact, language thing, because it's not only Imisi that does it. Now, moving from that, I mean, Kola had come to confront Imisi. Yes, he had come to meet her to get the cutleries, right? And she had refused to listen to him because he was like that she should bring out the cutleries, blah, blah, blah. And baby girl was not listening. She had told him that no, she's not going to do that, right? And he had even removed the duvet from her body twice. And Imisi was like, Kola, don't do that again. If you do that again, I'm going to cut it with you. Yes, he had told her that, I mean, she was reasoning from her ass. He was disappointed at her. And Imisi had told him more disappointments to come. I say, which kind of mad person is this one? Which one is more disappointment to come? Now, I feel like Kola should have known Imisi by now. So it's either, since you feel like this matters to you, call her aside and speak to her. That was why in my other video that I had done, where I said I liked the fact that Joanna had cleared Faith, I also in another video stated that I forgot to mention that clearing him where people were, for me, was a no-no. And that was what Kola kinda was doing. However, at this point in time, it's your friend that did something. It's your friend you need to talk to, not Isabella. You are not making it look like you're talking to Isabella, you're talking to your friend. These are two hot people. Why not pull your friend aside, reason with her, get her to do what you want? Right? That's what you have been doing since. So what, this couple of days, what has changed? Well, Imisi not grill. He not even told Imisi that he wants to take his medication. So he needs a cutlery to eat. And Imisi told him that, no, you need water to take your medication and not cutlery. I say, wahala. It was a lot, yes. At a point, he even told Imisi that she is a fool. I'm like, okay, this just got real. And he had walked away. He had gone to the kitchen. He was not having it. He had a lot to say. And then we saw Faith firing up the whole thing, talking about how, yes, Imisi is a big fool. That, in fact, the people that are friends with Imisi, he gets to wonder. He is wondering, because for you to be friends with Imisi, now, Mensan was there. And Faith was now saying, even you, Mensan, you talk to Imisi, you people, I don't even understand. To reason with that girl, there must be a certain kind of understanding that you two have. I'm like, what is this? What is this conversation, huh? Well, they went on, and then Mensan was like that, they don't need any understanding. That on a normal day, if they were outside, will he sit on swing and be doing all those talk with Imisi? No, but they're not outside, so it is what it is. And he feels like Imisi is a smart girl. She knows what she's doing. Now, Faith was talking about how, no problem, they should take Imisi's things too. Since Imisi has taken the cutleries for the house, they should take her box. It should be in that her box. So they should take it and hide it. And Kola said, no, he's not that pretty. Because a person goes low does not mean he should go lower. Now, Kola was very angry. He even went to the diary room to go and knock the diary door. Yes, to go and hit the gong so that Big Brother will open the door. So that Big Brother would tell Imisi to return the spoons. Because Imisi has stated it that it is Big Brother that will tell her to return the spoons. Now, the funny thing is that when Kola had spoken at first, Imisi said, okay, she would return it. But he now kept on going on and on. Imisi now said, you know what? I'm not going to return it. And Kola had said something to her. He had said, when you are right, I've been supporting you and all that. But you see this particular one, you are wrong. I'm not going to support you. And Imisi had said, you know what? Take all your support back. I don't need it. I don't need you to fight for me. I don't need you to support me. It does not matter to me. So yes, Imisi and Kola had their great misunderstanding. And then today, early in the morning, or this morning, we are seeing that Kola had then gone back to have a conversation with Imisi and Isabella. Yes. And this time around, he actually did listen to what happened. Yes. And they were telling him that, what's her name? Thelma was dividing the drinks. And for them, it did not make sense. Give everybody their canned drinks. Let them do as they please. And the bottle, you give everybody. So what Thelma did not make sense. That they were there. Thelma had said she would give the full house before she gives them and whatnot. They were there. Thelma had given like 5 people, if not more. And Thelma had refused to pour in their cups for them. And the housemates saw that happen. Now, they had stated it that, or Imisi had stated it that she's not going to return the spoons. Yes, and yesterday she had stated that, or early this morning when they first spoke about it, she had stated that it wasn't that the housemates caught her taking the spoons or hiding the spoons. She was the one that said it, that yes, she's taking the spoons. Now, she has stated it that her things are missing. Yes, some of her things are already missing. So she is not going to release the spoons till her things are back. Her pants, her pad, her bags, be what? There are some of her things that are missing. So till those things come out, she's not going to bring out these things. Yes, Kola tried speaking with her and she told Kola that if Kola wants to eat, she can tell Kola where to get a cutlery from. However, she's not going to release all the cutleries till she gets all her things or till Big Brother tells her to release the cutleries. And before that, she's not going to do any of that. And then we had seen Isabella saying that she would never talk to Sultana again. And she was swearing on her son's life. For me, that's too much. That's too much. Why swear on your son's life? What happened to your own life? Like, why bring the innocent boy into all this? Boy, when you know what's in the happen, you drag her enter. Boy, when you're there with you drag her enter. Use your own life to swear. Well, that's that on that. Then Kola's pleading went on deaf ears, and Imisi was telling Kola, I rate you. It's even because I rate you. That's why I'm listening to you. Time that I would have been using to sleep, I'm listening to you, irrespective of what transpired between us previously. That's the basketballs that happened between them early this morning. I still am talking to you. I did not shout on you when you removed the duvet from my body 2 or 3 times. That shows that I reason you far. Well, that's that on that. Kola is removing himself from the whole equation. Even when Tracy, because Tracy wanted to eat Indomie and Tracy came to meet Imisi outside in the garden to tell Imisi that please, Imisi should return the spoons and cutleries. Imisi said she's not going to do that, that after all, they have taken her things. And Tracy was trying to find out who took her things and even asked Kola. And Kola was like, he doesn't want to be part of that discussion. Yes, he has removed himself from that discussion. He doesn't want to be part of it. So that's it about that fight. So we are waiting to see who will come out victorious. And if Big Brother would interfere in the matter, although I feel he should. But we're waiting to see how it all plays out. That's that on that one. Let's talk about another thing quickly because this video is not too long. And that is our girl Dede. This Dede and Koyin situation. Now, after the pool party, we had seen that Dede was asking Koyin whether he's playing a game. And it was obvious that she was talking about playing a game with Isabella. And Koyin was like, no, he's not playing any game. In her diary session, she had also pointed out that, Isabella goes after the people that she's close with. Yes, those are the people that Isabella wants to always be close with. See, Kola, see, Koyin. And that this whole thing is just funny. That she had even heard that when she left, Isabella was saying things like she's not around, Dede is not around, and all that. So if Isabella feels like she is that girl, she should be that girl, both in her presence and absence. Yes. So there is should I say, a subtle war going on between Dede and Isabella. Courtesy of man. However, Dede has said it that, she doesn't want to be caught in that type of situation where it looks like she is fighting for a man or she's fighting for men that she doesn't even want that way. Yes, because, herself and Koyin are just friends. Well, that's that on that, though. And yes, Joanna was drunk after the party yesterday and Faith was coaxing her. In fact, it was Faith that even helped her clean her makeup and all that stuff. Now, moving on from that, let's go over to the last talk for this particular video because this video is not too long. Yes. We got to see them play a game where Big Brother had told them that, okay, you know this game that there'll be a painting upstairs and then Big Brother will tell them that they should all stand at different points in the house and then the people seeing the picture, the person seeing the picture will then explain what they can see to another person who will carry that message to another person like that till it gets to the person that is actually to draw or recreate what they've been told. So what you can see down is what is the image that they were to recreate, right? And what you can see up is what was recreated. Guys. Well, that's that on that. I don't even think I introduced myself in this video. Please, guys, don't forget that I do CSC jobs. So if you want to do any incorporation, if you CSC incorporation, be it post-incorporation or pre-incorporation, I'm your girl. Reach out to me using my Instagram handle, Gozy, that's GOZY _80. 8 and 0. Yes. Thank you very much. This, as you all know, is Chat with Gozy. I love you all so much. Thanks for always being here. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about all I've said in this video. I'm so sorry that this video is quite lengthy. Bear with me. I love you all so much. Bye, guys.